Sell. In my entire time as a real estate professional sales coach, this would be the most misunderstood of our journey. Let's look at what's happened. We find the data, we communicate, we get the opportunity to present, and we list. We do that listing presentation, they give us a set of keys and authority, and we now get to communicate. And now we're on the marketplace, we're communicating with the owner, but then the real part of this job kicks in, which is called sell. And many agents think everything sells itself, it doesn't really need that much help. You're wrong. Great salespeople understand data in this part of the game more than ever. I'm going to give you a couple of tips, a couple of examples. Let's say we're doing the open for inspection and a couple of buyers walk through, but one of them is from out of area. And they say, oh, Leah, I really like the house, but I'm not from here, I don't know what to offer. And I say, here is a report of every home sold in a 2-kilometre radius. I want you to drive past every one of them, meet me in 2 hours, and we'll put this together. You can fast track an offer by giving them that information. But by the way, this is a future tribe member of your community who will need to sell one day and appreciate your professional services. Stop being a real estate agent and be in property services. Now let's look at another part of sell. Purchasers come through your open for inspections, but as we discussed earlier, they could also own a dwelling in your area. Many agents provide a CMA report on the person selling, because that's really important. However, do you know most people think they'll have no trouble selling their own home, and that information is of interest, but not of importance. Whereas, if I was moving to another postcode away from where I live, I would be fascinated to know what all those homes are selling for, because I'm about to buy one. So, presenting a CMA report on the destination of where the person is going, you'll be seen as an absolute real estate professional in an industry that often lacks standards in the service to the purchaser. A really bad agent will say, just go to the open. That's not my problem. Are you going to buy it or not? This is your future seller and you are blowing it. So the CMA to their destination, they'll go, hey, that's a really good report. Thank you for that. And by the way, would you have a moment to pop back and see our place? Because you've earned the right as a real estate professional to communicate with them. Now there's also variance in price. There was a property going to auction in Sydney. The agent's got the first open for inspection, and as always, people say, what's it going to go for? Where's bidding going to start? Now you've got an option here. An agent can say, oh, I think it's about this, which I wouldn't recommend because that's not based on any data information. But what he did was run a report to give like a average number of what the property could have some sort of valuation at. And when buyers were coming through, he'd say, look, this is a report we've run and the figure is this. Well, his view was the property may not sell at that level, but once the purchasers know there was a benchmark, sure enough, the property went above the benchmark and the reserve price that they were looking for. Everyone's looking to justify something, and this data is a document, it's tangible that people can go, well, that's what this says. And if it's in writing, it must be real. And the fact that we've got supporting evidence and photos is a brilliant part of what makes this work. Now, with all the agents working the same marketplace, and you're giving CMAs on destination, you will be able to fast track offers because you're the one providing information. But in my experience, when a purchaser connects with an agent who's helpful, they do build a loyalty to say, well, let's just keep seeing what Lee's got. And I've had it many times in my career, they buy the best of what I have versus the open market. Now, it wasn't because I got the greatest homes, but I did give the greatest service that allowed them to understand the marketplace and move forward with their purchase. If you use all the techniques we're discussing, this will lift your profile as a real estate property professional. And if you're in the real estate space, you will know that this has been an issue. And if we look at the issues of the past where the agents didn't have a great name, it was loose information, lack of data, lack of product knowledge. Well, let's look at the change in our space now. Google. Any consumer can go onto the RP data sites, they can go into Google. There's even an opportunity, they may know even more than you about a focused area. This is no longer an option, people. We have to be on top of our game and updating the data and looking at the data yourself. Another issue I have, many agents say, I don't have time to do all this database updates. And I say, how many sales are in your area a month? They say, oh, 15. That is not a lot of data to update. I'll get someone to do it. No, I think you should be looking at the person who bought it. You should be looking at where that is and how that affects some of your other owners and get amongst the data. This is about making data dance. It's not just about knowing the sale price of 1 or 2 homes you looked up. Now, as we're still in this section of sell, one of the most powerful things to bring all this information together that we're discussing is to use what I refer to as a micro campaign. Now, a micro campaign is a prospecting and information-based formula to really lift your profile where people say, wow, nobody else looked after me like this person. Let's look at how a micro campaign can work for you.
Step 1 is to look at your confirmed data. For example, these people may be someone you met at the open for inspection. They were an inbound inquiry over a property, or they've been registered on your database for some time. Step 2, define if they own their own home and which postcode of the sales address. Now, this postcode should be your business development area because that is our focus. And also try and find out the destination postcode of where they would like to go. So for example, you might have 3,000 buyers within the database system, yet only 176 match the request of buyer who owns their own home in that specific postcode. Step 3, send a great to meet you email. Please find a copy of all our current listings in your area. And also send them a link for your preparing your home for sale checklist. Step 4, send the entire group of records a CMA report of all the sales of their postcode. Step 5, that afternoon that you've actually mailed it, send an SMS saying, "Dear Peter, I've sent you some important information. Let me know if you have any question. Regards, you." Step 6, a few days later, conduct a courtesy call confirming they received the information and reconfirm their destination postcode. Step 7 is to send a second SMS saying, "I've sent you another report based on the area you are considering moving to. Let me know what you think. Regards, you." Step 8 is a phone call just confirming do they have any questions and can we help them or assist them with their move in any way. This call is important as they'll want to chat about some of the destination information, not so much their own sale information. Step 9, send a just sold email link and say this in the message. "Hi Peter, this property is just sold. It's very different to yours, but click on the link and let me know what you think." Step 10 allows you to make a great phone call. You're following up on everything you've done, but you've now earned the right to ask for the opportunity to view their own home in order to help them move to another. And this positioning is a great way to get solid appraisals because I believe anyone can get in a door. However, being invited indoor as a respected professional, which is what this micro campaign has done, allows you to turn up to these properties pre-sold. And when we look at prospecting and really trying to break through, it's that respect level that wins us the business.
Thank you everyone. It was great to have your attendance and your interest in making data dance.